It's during the season of Advent. It's a special time to prepare the way for the Lord, to welcome the Lord more into our lives. But I think it's important to remember that as we're looking to welcome the Lord has already welcomed us in so many ways. So by even taking on our human nature, for the second person of the Holy Trinity to become one of us, to be conceived and born and died and risen and ascended into heaven, he's welcoming us. For Jesus to call the church his own body, the Lord is welcoming us. For us, through our baptism, to be adopted, beloved daughters and sons of God, to be welcomed into the very family of God. We are being welcomed by the Lord. In our first reading from the prophet Isaiah, we see the Lord looks to gather everyone, to welcome everyone into his kingdom and into his dwelling. We are welcomed by the Lord. And then what does St. Paul say in our second reading then? He goes, welcome one another as the Lord welcomes you for the glory of God. And so I think just as the season of Advent is a good time to circle back on welcoming the Lord, I think it's a good time to circle back on our welcoming others as the Lord has welcomed us. I love that hospitality has always been a value and a virtue of the parish here. And it's looked differently over the different eras of the parish. I guess if there can be eras in a 17-year period. But, from going door to door to welcome others, to periods of growth, to even now with this big space that we have here and, having gone through a global pandemic, that value still remains of welcoming one another as the Lord has welcomed us. Hospitality is necessary for the building up of community. And for those of us made in the image and likeness of God, who is love, that love welcomes others in. And so we're blessed to be able to exercise hospitality in so many ways. Inviting people just to share in our life, welcoming people into our homes, into the life of our family, and of course here in the parish as well. Now you can do this with some kind of official job, like a usher or a greeter or helping with the refreshments, and we're always looking for people to help with that. But I think for all of us to exercise that ministry of hospitality for one another, we know it's been so meaningful here at St. John the 23rd. So to look around, and if there's people that you don't know especially, to maybe introduce yourself and get someone's name. We're blessed to always be having new people. To ask, what can I pray for you for? To even just give someone a friendly smile and nod, just to share the joy that we have in the Lord is hospitable. I think even in our participation in the Mass, by our responses, our singing is hospitality, because it invites others to do the same, and it makes others feel comfortable doing the same. In our gospel today, we hear about John the Baptist. He's one of the figures that we hear about throughout the Advent season. And John, of course, we told the little ones, was a little different. He liked hanging out in the desert, which was kind of a wild place, but also a place with no distractions. John, he ate locusts, with honey as a little chaser. He was all dripping his camel's hair get up. But he didn't care about, what he was going to wear, what he was going to eat, because he was single-minded and focused just on his mission, on his mission of preparing the way for the Lord. And so too for us to be single-minded in our mission, in our missionary discipleship, as we're growing as disciples together, of which hospitality is a part of. And like with John, it's easy to get caught up or not get caught up in certain things for the exercise of hospitality. I know for me, I am not naturally a people person, and I am an introvert in every way. But that just doesn't work with hospitality. So there's that call in my own life to continue to step out of my comfort zone and try to reach out to those around me. And that's good, again, for the building up of our community. And I think even just our own building up of ourselves as people of God. Of course, we know, too, that here in the Mass, the Lord welcomes us in a special way here to his banquet. So as we encounter Christ here in the Mass through word and sacrament, let's ask for that grace again to welcome the Lord into our lives in a new way and to welcome again one another as Christ has welcomed us.